Hello everyone, welcome back to ThoseYGOguys. I'm your host, Alessandro. So in today's Yu-Gi-Oh video, we're going to be discussing our two very popular cards that have made a great impact upon the current state of the metagame post-Primal Origins, and including Dragons of Legends. And those two cards are Fire Hand and Ice Hand. So what's so special about those two cards? Right now, we're now seeing a lot of people splashing those two cards as an engine into almost like every single deck. Well, not exactly every single deck, but quite a good bit. For example, we've seen like Chris LeBlanc using Fire and Ice Hand in his Madolche deck, and we've seen some new decks have risen up, such as like Trap Tricks Hands and Trap Tricks Hand Artifact decks, and other stuff like that. So we're going to be discussing how to get around Fire Hand and Ice Hand. So let's keep in mind that both Fire Hand and Ice Hand are two really powerful effect monsters with really strong effects, but their attack points, well, and stats wise, they're not that strong in brute force. So one thing I noticed from, at least recently, from a lot of online players that they've been doing is they bring out a big monster and leave it in defense mode. I've seen like one Fire Fist player bring out like in the early game state, he brought Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Horse Prince, which has in defense mode, which has a 2200 defense, which is pretty good. And also hearing back from a lot of tournament reports that happened at YCS Philadelphia from Gear players, they brought up the point that the Trap Tricks Hands, those kind of variant decks, the hands, they kind of struggle to get over cards like pretty much Gear Armor because it has 1900 defense. So in order to get over those kind of monsters, they have to use that hand they have on the field and bring out another level 4 monster, and then they have to go into an XE play in order to get over the monster, because let's be honest, the hands, while being really good cards, are not very effective. They cannot crash into, because it's impossible to crash when a monster with high defense remains in defense mode. So that's one thing I have seen quite a lot happens. Next up, we have another point to point out. Of course, either Fire Hand or Ice Hand, while they're in your possession, once they're destroyed by opponent's card, by battle or by card effect, and sent to the graveyard, they can target one of their appropriate target that the opponent controls and destroy that target. And if they do, and then once you've done that, you can special summon the opposite hand. So one thing to keep in mind is, one, they need to destroy something in order to bring out the other hand. So decks that could make level 8 synchros, such as like Dragon Rulers, or if you're playing the Gear deck and you happen to be playing the Gear Karakuri variant, you can make Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon is a real pain in the butt for our hands to really handle, because Stardust will say, nope, you can't do that. Other popular cards, that we are now seeing, such as Debunk, which will negate the effects in the graveyard and banish them, or cards that prevent those hands from going to the graveyard, such as Dimensional Fissure, or what else? Macrocosmos, or Banisher Radiance, if whatever the reason you happen to keep it alive, or other cards that negates or card effects within the graveyard, such as, let's say, Abyss Dweller, or a a very interesting comic card I was going through my comment box is Forbidden Graveyard, which is a quick play spell card which you can activate it by discarding one card from your hand, and it prevents effects that activate in the graveyard from happening. So basically, if once they send out their hand to crash into your strong high attack point monster, you can, during their attack declaration, you can activate Forbidden Graveyard, discard a card, and pretty much that crash will be all for nothing. Another thing I've noticed is that I think in today's video, which actually no, recently I have seen a video basically from Mega Capital G where it was between a Traptrix artifact hand and a 6 Samurai player, and the Traptrix artifact hand deck, player, normal summon a hand monster. Basically, I don't remember if it was either fire or ice hand, but you get the idea. And on that normal summon, the 6 Samurai player respawn by activating Solemn Warning, which, to be honest, that is an incorrect play on the 6 Samurai player's part. Because the thing is, yes, you do negate the summon, but the bad news is you not only negate the summon, but you destroy the normal summon hand monster. And as the hand, fire ice hand stated, when this card in your possession, doesn't matter if it's on the field or not, is destroyed by opponent's card effect or by battle, by effect because of Solemn Warning, and sent to the graveyard, then they can do the card's effect. So what will you do when you have Solemn Warning is let them crash, and then when they apply to special summon the opposite hand, then you can activate Solemn Warning to pay that 2,000 life points, negate the summon. So that's another helpful thing. Also, another helpful tip is that Fire and Ice hand has the when clause. So they have a really likelihood of missing timing. So let's say, for example, a Traptrix artifact hand player or Traptrix hand, whichever one you want to go with, they already have their hand out on the field. They normal summon, he or she normal summon Traptrix Myrmilio and activate the effect to add a whole normal trap card from his or her deck to their hand. So what we do is, in response to the summon and the effect of Traptrix Myrmilio, you can activate Torrential Tribute. So Chainlink 1 would be Traptrix Myrmilio, and Chainlink 2 would be Torrential Tribute. So Chainlink resolves backwards. Torrential Tribute will destroy all monsters on the field, including the hand. And then the last thing that is resolving within the Chainlink is the Myrmilio's effect. So that means that the fire or ice hand will miss its timing to activate their effect and resolve it. So that's a really helpful thing to keep in mind. So cards like, you can use cards such as Soul Taker, which it destroys a monster and then your opponent gains 1,000 life points. That will make the hand monster, fire or ice hand, miss its timing. But the problem is let's keep in mind, giving that 1,000 life points could be a real big difference because hello, Soul Charge is a card that make a great impact in the current state of the metagame. So that 1,000 life points could mean either A, an extra monster for them to bring back with Soul Charge, or B, they can utilize or save up some life points so they can make a following of Soul Charge later down along the late game state, depending on how things are going. Other good cards that can be really good against fire or ice hands. cards such as Armades, like when he attacks or is being attacked, your opponent can activate cards or effects until the end of damage step. Pretty much the hands will miss his timing. Or, let's see, Taras. Taras cannot be destroyed by card effects. So if they crash Firehand to Taras, or Taras attacks into Firehand, guess what? Firehand, and let's keep that in mind, Taras is the only monster. Let's make that bold and clear. So, if Taras is the only monster and Taras attacks into Firehand, Firehand cannot utilize his effect to destroy Taras because, hey, Taras has an Xyz material, so that means Firehand cannot bring out Ice Hand. And let's see, what else? Number 74, Master Blaze, for either Mermaid players or Dragon Ruler players. Basically, if Master Blaze is the only appropriate target and you attack into Firehand, for another example, basically Firehand will have no choice but to target Master Blaze if he's the only appropriate target to use it on, and then Master Blaze will be like activate his effect, detach, negate Firehand's effect, and then you pop an extra card, which that could means like popping an extra back row. So another good card that can also make Fire and Ice Hand miss his timing is Raikou, Lightsworn Hunter. That's basically relevant because, hey, Lightsworns are getting a new structure deck coming out next month. Basically, either Firehand or Ice Hand attacking the face down monster and it happens to be Raikou. You activate Raikou's effect, destroy the hand. And then the last thing that's resolving the effect is the Milling 3 from Raikou. So that means Fire or Ice Hand will miss his timing. So I hope this helps out quite a bit. Leave a comment down below and put more food for thought what else you can get around Fire and Ice Hand. I know this is a pretty brief and I hope this video helps out as well. That was the whole goal for this video. So I hope you guys find this helpful, and leave down a comment down below other cards that I might have missed. Something really helpful. Oh yes, another important card I actually popped up in my head: Dimensional Prison. Basically, either Firehand or Ice Hand attacks, you activate Dimensional Prison, they get banished. Okay, that's another good thing. If I'm missing other cards, comment down below. I mean, let's help out the community a bit, and let's decrease the fear towards Firehand and Ice Hand. Yes, I know they are a big pain in the butt, but they're not unstoppable. This is not like Reborn Tengu all over again. This is like a downgrade version, but they're very good cards nonetheless. So I hope this works out well, and I'll see you guys next time on ThoseYGOguys. So I'm your host Alessandro, and I'll see you guys later on the next video of ThoseYGOguys. Take care everyone. Bye bye.